Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Down the Rabbit Hole News. I am the rabbit. Look at you guys are coming in. I was actually uploading some screenshots and then this thing kind of went away. This freaking MacBook is so tricky sometimes. I need to show you guys some screenshots before I get started today. How's everybody doing? Drop a rabbit on the chat. Say hello to everybody. Tell us where you're from so I can read up your area. But let me just get these screenshots going for everyone. 1 second. Got to get these screenshots because they are going to be helpful for those that want a point of reference to the information I'm about to provide. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Before I say my hellos. Okay, here we go. Now I got it. All right. I feel a little bit more organized now. Okay. Hey, welcome, guys. Let me see where everybody's at. Yes, this was rescheduled, guys. I was exhausted yesterday. It was a pretty long day for me. Yes, make sure you guys go and check out the petition. Go support the petition. People are talking about the petition, the numbers. Follow the steps that the petition is telling you to follow because it's very helpful. This petition is helping people to hold them accountable to the things that they need to follow up with and follow through with. Yes. Hey, Kiki, welcome. Magic, welcome. Welcome. You made it. You made it, my love. Giovanni, Mar. Let me say hello to my members first. Pink, how are you, Pink? How are you? Mar is here as well. Brandy, how are you? Gumby, welcome. Welcome. Yes, you make sure you hit that like button. Shout out to all my members and my mods that are keeping me accountable to that. Because, like I said, I need to do a better job at that. I suck at it. I really, really do. Let me see. Who else do I have here? I have Zena boiling, not boiling, bowling with cotton balls. I found you chasing down rabbit down the rabbit holes, and ma'am, I'm so glad I did. Oh, welcome. Well, I am the rabbit. I don't know how many people call themselves a rabbit, but I am the rabbit. Shout out to you, Philly. Philly Chica's here. Hey, you made it to the live. Giovanni, Moonlight, Jet, Stephanie, Stuck on Strings is here. Shout out to you. Brenda is here. Paola. I don't want to use your name. Linda, AP. Yes, there's 6 inches of snow in Utah. My God. My God. Lord Jesus. Well, call it a snow day, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Jet is here. Adrian is here. Brittany. All right. So Liz is from San Antonio, Texas. Amanda from Vero Beach, Florida. All right. Texas. Ina's from Texas, guys. Oh my God, I love this. Florida Keys in the house. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook group. Shout out to all my Facebookers out there. Where is the petition? Will you please check in the description box? The petition should be in there. And I don't think I have a mod in here. Do I? I don't see a mod in here. Maybe they'll come in here in a little bit. Paola is here as well from Vegas. Oh, it's Joavana, not Jo. Okay, sorry, my bad. Is it Joivana? Joivana? See, I'm reading it fast. I thought it was Giovanni. Gotcha, my love. Giovanna. I love that. I love the switching of the O's. Yes. Hey, Christopher fan. Thank you for correcting me. Scotland is here. Awesome. You guys, awesome. Welcome. Okay. So I was as I was kind of going through content and stuff, I realized that my morning drink this morning is a Fanta. Not that I'm getting any promo from anybody, but this is one of my favorite Fantas. It's the strawberry one. You guys got to try this one. Speaking of Mexico and whatnot, hey, Scottish. Hey, welcome. Hey, Jet. All right, we're all saying hello to each other. Okay. Hey, Bossy, how are you? Happy birthday. Happy belated. Hey, Cash. Welcome. Make sure you guys say happy birthday to Bossy. Her birthday was just a couple days ago. Shout out to her. All right, we got some stuff to get into, but I wanted to kind of get going and get warmed up a little bit. It's been a lot happening in the last couple days. Now you're singing the Fanta song. I bet. Fanta. Oh my God, Madam of the Mess is here. Shout out to you, Madam. Shout out to you. It's been a lot happening in the last couple days. I would say, right? So this information has already been dropped. I'm going to talk about it a little bit to give you guys a little insider. Gerardo is going to be interviewing the attorney that will be trying the case in Mexico. Okay. I'm waiting for more information. I feel okay dropping this information now because it's already been dropped in another channel. So I'm just going to right out say it. So just note that. I want to thank the Plainest Jane, and every channel that has given me a shout out. I want to thank you guys for that. Let me tell you guys something. One of the things that I'm learning here, and shout out to Sean Davy Wake, who reached 100K last night. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome and so deserving of it. Period. Um, you know, how do I say this without sounding like, okay, let me figure this out, and I'm just gonna say it bluntly. There are some people that I think the right mind and heart is in the right place, right? And I think that that's great. That's awesome. I think we're, as long as we're here together. You don't find the petition in the description box? Okay, I'm gonna get it for you guys. Okay, give me 1 second while I'm still chatting and talking about this. Okay, before I 1 sec, let me get off camera so I can find this petition for you guys. So this is where I'm getting at. Okay, some people, mind and heart is in the right place, which is awesome. I think it's great. We need to all work together, and I think we're all in the same, to a certain degree, we're all working together, right? Which is awesome. There's some people out there that are running with a different narrative in terms of conspiracy theories about Shanquella, and I just find it so awful to do that, given that the family is still in mourning and there's no respect to that family, right? I think the other thing we could do better as well is, especially, and I'm not a big content creator or anything like that. I'm letting you guys know I appreciate every shout out that I get, whether the content creator is big or small. But what I don't like, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, is that I've noticed, and I'm not going to call names exactly who or anything, but I've noticed that some bigger content creators, let me say this again, some bigger content creators will copy scripts of, like, if I'm working here and working my ass off and putting things together, people will copy scripts of other people's verbiage, and then because they're a bigger content creator, they don't say, well, I got this information from that content creator, or shout out, this content creator did the research and the breakdown on such and such thing. I'm noticing that a lot, and I'm noticing it in the bigger channel, shamefully, right? I'm telling you now, I'm not going to name who or what. If the shoe fits, you have to fucking wear it. Now, one thing I have learned here is that whether it's whatever it is that you're reporting on, sometimes, thank you, Christopher Fan. Sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes people will never give you the flowers that you deserve. Okay? They won't. It is lame. They won't. They will never give you the flowers that you deserve. So you know what you got to do when that happens? You have to take the fucking bouquet. Take it. Because some of these people will never give you the flowers that they deserve. And especially, one thing I notice, especially when the bigger ones, right? Where they feel like, well, I can just, and I just put the petition on the chat, guys. I can just not credit or anything. That's not okay to do, especially some of us that work very hard, right? To get the information out. At the end of the day, we all have to be united and make sure that we work together. But at the same time, you got to give credit to the little people too. You can't just be watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, watch, and then I find out that you're going live later regurgitating the same shit that I've just said, or that another content creator that just said. That's not okay. And then you're not even giving credit to the hard work that's happening there, only because you have a bigger number and a bigger following, and you can give, and you say, because we don't have the same subscribers, you don't share it. Yeah, it's kind of sad a little bit. Now, like I said, I work with a lot of content creators. Trust me, I have great relationships with some. But the ones that I'm talking about, they know who I'm talking about. Okay. And if the shoe fits, you wear it. Period. But one thing I'll tell you is it's like, you gotta be able to say, you know what? That person did the research. I'm going to quote so and so from so and so's channel. If terms of services on YouTube had what is it, Plagiarism, it doesn't have plagiarism here. It really doesn't. I'm telling you, a lot of channels, smaller channels that are working their way up to get to, say, Sean Davy Way or some other bigger platform. Mel, these are great content creators. Even Jane, the plainest Jane, gave me the shout out. And you know what? Shout out to the plainest Jane, because like she really, people are reminding me, like, Rabbit, you doing all this work. They need to give you your flowers. And if they don't give you your flowers, you take that bouquet. Guys, that's all I say. Yo, if you take my script, give me my flowers. That's it. That's it. I don't expect anything else. You know? Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's a lot of hard work, guys. Let me tell you guys, I've been hustling. Danny Robertson's been hustling. We've been hustling and working and working. We're like, let's put this together. Let's get this information out there. Let's put everything aside for a minute for the purposes of bringing justice to Shanquella. That's the important key part. But let's work together and give credit to where credit is due, right? That's all I say. Like, yeah. Yeah. So thank you. And for those that have given me credit, I appreciate you for doing that. Thank you so much for doing that, period. Okay. She mentioned you and Rabbit and said to check YouTube. Okay. Thank you. And I appreciate the Pascal. I've shouted out Pascal show a couple times as well. Thank you for the flowers, period. But it is a lot of hard work. It is a different monster when egos are involved. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? That's just what I've learned. It's not just whether it's bringing justice or something else, but I personally found it to be very interesting that you could put the research forth. And I know that the bigger content creators, the more research that you do and they don't credit you, and and you're like, damn, that's my script, or damn, that's what I said, or damn, you copied verbatim. Did you do your own research? There is no credit to that. I just noticed that some people feel like they're not owed, or they don't owe you anything, or they don't owe someone like Danny Robertson, who has less than 10K, anything. We have to be kind of mindful. As long as you subscribers know that we're here for you and we're trying to bring facts, that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Y'all are dropping flowers on the chat. Not literally, guys. Not literally. But thank you, guys. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Kaylin, we have Rabbit with differences of opinion, get topics, but I appreciate the hard work. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Sorry for the garden. I love you guys. Oh my God. Hey, Shrinking Sharon, welcome. All right, Cash, Mod, everybody's here. Thank you. Let's Philly Chica. I'm not clicking your comment. You're being messy now. But I love you for it though. Oh my gosh. I love it. Well, let me tell you, man, I went to grad school. I know you cannot be plagiarizing other people, but on YouTube, this shit don't exist. That don't exist. It does plagiarism does like people just do whatever the hell they want to. Period. Yeah. Okay. I know, right? Philly Chica, you're so funny. Okay. So I had a really great interview with WrongtoStrong. Okay. Awesome person. Yo, I got to tell you guys, this guy gave us some information on the Mexican prison experience. Okay. And that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys. Guys, he was recently featured on an episode of, let me put this up here. Locked Up Abroad. I watched his episode. As you guys can see, it was purchased. It's Narcos Neverland. Locked Up Abroad. It's like you could buy the episode for $1.99. You guys got to go watch it. His story was just recently featured here in 2022, this year. And they talk a little bit about his experience. He's season 12, episode 1. His story, I watched that episode, guys, and I sat there and I was like, oh my God, how do you live to tell any of this? How do you live to tell any of it, period? The man was stabbed twice in one day. This man was 17 years old when he landed himself in a Mexican prison. And did you think that the US was going to come in here and intervene like, hey, he's a child? No. He's a US citizen. No, they didn't. They did not. So shout out to the subby that reached out to me. Subby said, listen, there's a really cool guy on YouTube. His channel's in the description box. You guys got to check it out. He's got over, I think, close to 80K subscribers. I reached out to him. I'm going to tell you guys, I did not think he was ever going to respond to me whatsoever. My experience has been is that the bigger this guy is kind of, this is a bit of a celebrity, right? His story, him being able to tell, but his mission is bigger than being a celebrity or anything like that. His is really wanting to bring out the truth and share the information, change somebody's life. He's walking a different walk right now, and he survived that experience. So I wanted to thank him. Number one, Julio Almazan, shout out to you. WrongtoStrong, JC, guys, you guys got to go check him out. His information is in the description box. He said that, I asked him, I said, I'm surprised you responded to me. It was awesome. It was awesome. So I'm bringing this to you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give commentary to it, and then I'm going to upload it as a separate interview. So if you don't want my commentary and you just want the interview, you will get that as well. Are you guys ready for this? Let me know. Let me know. Period. Yeah, it was 17 years. Can you guys imagine a child in Mexican prison? Hey, did you think that the U.S. was going to come over there and rescue him? Sure no. Sure not. Sure not. Let it roll. You guys ready for it? All right. Let me be quiet now. And let me get this going. Let me get this going, guys. This is awesome. Thank you so much. And here we go. But I do appreciate you talking to me. Like I said, a subby had reached out to me and was like, can you reach out to WrongtoStrong? Great story. And they sent me a link. And then I started looking into your YouTube channel, which I'm going to link all that in the description box, and saw that you have a pretty big story as far as how you ended up in the Mexican prison, your experience, and then coming out of that, right? And everything after. You shared with me Locked Up Abroad. That's the name of the episode. It's a whole show, and you happen to be part of one season. And even though I think it was like an hour, 60 minutes, but it was only a short synopsis, but I would think would be your whole life, right? You're selective about who you talk to. Can you tell me a little bit about that? You're smiling.
It's
not to put you on the spot, but I've
I keep it real. I always tell people, just because I'm a Christian now doesn't mean I'm not a gangster still. So
no, I get it.
No, I'm selective because of my walk, because of what I'm trying to, like, my walk expresses like what I'm trying to show, especially the youngsters and people around me, and it's changed and it's doing what's right, and so I'm very selective of who I talk to, or who, I guess you could say, I go on their show or stuff like that, because I'm not saying that I think I'm better or anything. It's just that I just don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to keep it real. So if I'm not okay with it, then I'm not. And my friend Cash from Chicago, we've been friends for a long time. So when he sends me stories on Instagram with rap music with swear words on it, I text him back and I'm like, come on, dude, I can't post this. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you the clean version, and he sends me another song, and I'm like, it's just I'm 100% loyal. So once I pick a side, that's it. That's who I'm riding with. That's point blank.
You seem like a very genuine person, so I appreciate you for that. I think I'm pretty genuine. So I thank you for selecting me, right? That feels pretty good to know.
Well, I watched some of your stuff first,
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the way you talk and stuff like that.
Screening process.
I was like, all right, a brown sister. I'm just keeping it real.
Verdad. How's your Spanish?
Good. I'm fluent. Good. I speak.
You're fluent?
Yeah, I was always taught to hablar español en la casa y inglés en la escuela con mis amigos. So,
¿Y hablas español en tu casa ahorita? Like, con tus hijos?
No, actually, my Spanish has gotten really bad since I moved to Arizona.
So I asked him, I said about his Spanish, I said, "Hey, how's your Spanish? Because are you fluent? Where are you at?" This does happen to us. Like if you see, I was raised speaking Spanish only at home. I lived in Mexico. So I was born in the US, right? We went back to Mexico and I was there for a couple years. So I was around a lot of Spanish, right? Period. Like I was around the culture. I know what the culture is like, but I was not in a tourist area, okay? I definitely was in, I would say, the poorest areas of Mexico, so I could tell you a little bit about Mexico and Mexico life. I mean, it's crazy because to me it's like, how do I describe this? Uh when you go there and you live, you get out of the tourist area and you actually live the actual experience like with everybody, it's a different ball game. And that's what we were talking about. It's like, do you speak Spanish? Do you still remember Spanish? Because sometimes it does happen where people forget their Spanish. I forget my Spanish every once in a while. Sometimes I think way too quick. Like my ADHD gets the best of me and I'm thinking in Spanish but speaking in English. And sometimes I do the little Spanglish thing. So it's not uncommon for us to forget our language. But let me go ahead and keep playing.
Um, the Mexicans down here are very Americanized. I don't know if I should say it like that or what, but you
It's a
speak to them.
Spanglish.
Yeah, no, you speak to them in Spanish, and they get upset. They're like, "Hey, I speak English." Blah blah blah. They don't want to be. They don't want to be categorized as a Mexican from Mexico. So there's a lot of racism down here with your own kind. Something I had never seen
Yeah.
because in Chicago we don't roll like that. So
Yeah, there. And that is very true. There is a lot of racism within our own kind. There's a lot of colorism within our own kind. I have cousins that are darker skin than I am. I'm telling my dad, if you guys were to see my dad, he is darker skin than I am. Darker. I get the light skin from my mom's side, right? But they're both Mexican, and is a very Mexico is very mixed. Period. Do you have a population where you call the Afro Mexicans, the Afro Mexican? We have Afro Mexicans there too, and so you have that cultural mix there. It's interesting because colorism is so heavy in Mexico. A lot of people talk about like how countries will sell bleach cream. Oh, there's a lot of that over there in TJ. It's a lot of that. People trying to be of a lighter skin color. But I have a lot of dark skin cousins, and like I said, my dad, he's a lot darker skin than a lot of us. So yeah, there's a lot of racism within, right? And I think a lot of you guys might even in your own experience, in your own culture, you experience that a lot of in Puerto Rico, a lot of racism within. Who speaks better Spanish? Who has straighter hair? Whose hair is this way or whose eyes are this way? Yeah, definitely. Whose skin is this way? It's all everywhere. Period. Okay. See, Dominicans as well. My cousins are chocolate, live in Dominican. Yeah, I have a lot. It's what I'm saying. It's like it's so the racism within a culture is huge. It's huge. And it does affect how the police respond when I don't want to get too much into this, but when the lead attorney talked about the bonnet, yeah, there is a lack of understanding about hair and the need to keep up with it with other cultures because it just we don't do a good job about exposing each other to differences. We're very ingrained to what we know and very old school about it. Okay. And I'm speaking from the Mexican experience. All right. Yes. And please hit the like button, guys. We are 26 minutes in. Let me see where my likes are at, guys. If you're enjoying this content, please show me the love. I don't ask for too much. Thank you. 113. Can we get at least to 180? I would appreciate everybody if we can get to 180. All right, let's go. Yeah, there is. Every culture has it, though. If you think about it, every culture has its little niche. Oh my God. So, Mr. Julio, okay, dígame, how old were you when you landed yourself in the Mexican prison?
I was 17. I had just barely turned 17.
Wow.
Yeah. I started working for the cartel at 16.
So there was this idea that, you were a kid, like somehow the US was going to protect you from, you know, this that didn't really happen to you.
No. No, I was just telling my wife yesterday because we were watching the episode again we watch it over and over again, and I started crying. I started crying, and I told her that I'm really grateful that that kid was that strong to like withstand all that, because a lot of those Americans that flew over on that plane, some of them are not around no more. Some of them are like complete addicts. Some of them went back into the system for long periods of time. And if that kid wouldn't have been so strong, I would have been another victim of the circumstances, I guess you could say.
That you were. Let me tell you something. As somebody that's interviewing him, can I just say this? I had this feeling, and we're online, but if you look at his eyes and his face, this man has looked like he has carried so much in his life. His walk has been so heavy with the Lord. If you guys could see, so you're 17 and you're working for the cartel. This is not like some Hollywood, movie, although it sounds like it should be, quite honestly. You're 17 and you're working for the cartel. You get caught up in the border, okay, with drugs in your vehicle, which was, I'm telling you guys, got to watch that episode because he gives you the full detail of what exactly happened. And let me post that up one more time, guys. It's Locked Up Abroad, and it is season 12, episode 1. All right, and you will see his story there incomplete. It's his demeanor. He just looks like he's been walking this walk for such a long time. You have to watch the episode. 17 with the cartel. That's huge. And how he found himself in that. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna let you guys watch that episode so you guys can see exactly what that was. But it's you imagine some 17-year-olds here are worried about social media. This man was dealing with the cartel, transporting drugs. Okay, some people are worried about social. These 17-year-olds would know nothing about that life. A lot of these guys. It's crazy to me. But let's keep watching. You were under, how many years were you there for?
4 years.
Oh my God. Until the US came and picked you up?
Yeah. I was waiting on, back then they had a program where they were doing exchanges with Americans and Mexicans, and I was actually on the last flight when they canceled it. So I barely made it out of there. I think that's why they took them so long to get me out of there, because usually they come and get Americans right away. You're gone in 6 months to a year. I don't know why it took so long for me to get picked up.
What held it together for you in those 4 years that you were there?
What held it together?
And I have a hard time even asking that. After watching that episode, I said,
I don't know. God.
You got stabbed the first day, and then you got stabbed twice. Who gets stabbed 2 times? I was like, did I just hear that? Your story is so amazing. But when I saw that, I said, this man got stabbed twice in one day, the first day that he got there.
Yeah. I was telling my wife, if I wouldn't have went through everything I went through as a kid, like everything that happened to me, how bad, like, I was molested and tortured and all that bad stuff, I would have never survived those 4 years in Mexico. Never. I remember looking back on the plane and looking at all the Americans, because I was the youngest one. And looking back at all the Americans, and I could tell that they were all messed up. They had seen too much. Too much had happened. Prison over there is very rough because it's survival of the fittest. There is no guards there to save you. There is no gangs there to there's more like smaller groups. So there's more trouble waiting to happen. And it's the same for the women. The women, if you have money, they drink, they do drugs, they go out on conjugal visits. It's the same for the women. It's just they're just not as violent as the men. That's all it is. But they have their stuff too.
Wow. We were talking, I had shown a clip about some of your experiences, right? I think the one that it was, what is it, the 5 not funny things about Mexican prisons, right? And I was kind of going through, especially that everybody had a feeling about the whole with the broom, because I know what these Mexican brooms look like, right? And if you are like a child perpetrator, you get treated the worst
Yeah.
there. Yes, yes. Thank you guys. Yes. And make sure thank you, Anita, for the 13.99 super chat, super sticker. I'll make sure we do some rabbits working for you at the end of this video live today. Yes, please. And make sure you guys check out the plainest Jane. Jane. You know, guys, we love Jane in our channel. Shout out to her. And if you guys see Danny Robertson as well, make sure you guys check out her channel, as she is the driving force of that petition, period. We're all together in it, and she's leading us throughout it all. But let's go ahead and keep watching. Well, actually, before we do, I wanted to give some commentary about the broom. Hey, Liz, welcome to the membership. Liz, not Liz, I'm sorry, everybody. If you guys remember when we were watching that, it was his video. We talked about the, what is it? The 5 worst things about the Mexican prison. He talked about a man that had perpetrated on a baby, okay? And they greeted him with, like, they beat the shit out of him, and they greeted him later on with the broom. Basically, the man didn't make it. There was a broom up his ass. These Mexican brooms, I mean, I got some PTSD on them because I was hit with one of them when I was a little kid. I mean, that this is how it was. This is our culture, you know. I hate to say it, but that's just, and not to accept it. But these Mexican brews were pretty bad, so I can only imagine. Yeah, anybody that was a child perpetrator that was coming down there, they would announce it to everybody, let everybody know, okay, and so you knew that something was going to go down with that person. Imagine every day. I do have some broom trauma. I really do. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really do. Um, every day you're watching people get killed or people get beat up. The amount of in the brain too, right? Because we, you know, as a grad student, we studied a little bit about the brain and the research. The amount of trauma that it takes to constantly keep going over and over, you know, watching scenes like that, living it, seeing blood or people beat up or people in pain, it will desensitize you at some point about trauma. It'll desensitize you like it's nothing. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing, for sure. But let's keep watching.
No, it's they announced him on the newspaper a day before, so they were already waiting for him. You know, and that's how they do it in Mexico. They announce you on the newspaper, just like they knew when I was coming to the prison. You know, the people that I was with, they knew that I was coming, but they were waiting for that guy. And like, you know, I had seen a lot of violence already on the streets from gangbanging. You know, my friends getting shot in the face, stuff like that. I had seen a lot of violence. I just never had seen it where it was like to a point where it was almost like heartless. Like there was like nothing behind it. I just, it was just to like hurt people, and it was constant every day there, all the time.
Have you become desensitized, you think, from everything that you saw there?
I was really like, I was wondering why I couldn't stay out. I couldn't stay out, but it was because I was so I was so like used to it that I thought that everything was solved with violence. Like my wife would tell you, like, she's the only one that stuck it out with me. Like, to be honest, and all the relationships I've been you know through, the longest has been 3 months. 3 months because I was bien loco. I had a lot of PTSD, schizophrenia, just bipolar, a lot of issues, a lot. And my wife, Dios la bendiga, she stuck it out and prayed, and I didn't know I was that bad because that's how I grew up. I grew up being violent, and they're surviving. So, you know, I didn't understand what I was doing wrong out here.
So it's so interesting, right? Because he says, you know, I have all this PTSD. He starts describing these mental health uh, uh, ailments, right? To a certain degree between bipolar and schizophrenia. And I'm not saying that that's what he has. I think he's just describing to a certain degree everything that he has seen has led on to him to have all this trauma, and potentially all this mental health because of what he saw, all this violence in Mexico, everything that he, even in his prior to his childhood. Yeah, and I saw that too. And I think he's just describing, he's thinking in his mind that that is what it is. I don't think that's what it is, but it's just a way in which he's giving a description to his own interpretation of the trauma that he's had. I don't know if that's necessarily what he has, but you know, and I take it with a grain of salt, and I'm not going to edit that out because that's how he feels and that's what he's describing at that moment. It's very deep. It's very deep. And even, you know, doing that. And of course, I'm not going to ask him, have you been diagnosed with schizophrenia? Absolutely not. He is self-diagnosing, absolutely, and a lot of us do it too, right? I think I have this, I think I have that. We're not really knowing if that's really what we have, but he definitely, at least as an outsider, seems to have a lot of trauma. Thank you so much. 159. Okay, we need 30 more to get to 180, and I appreciate everybody here, period. I'm so grateful I found you, and I'm so grateful that I'm so grateful that you found me too and that you're here. Thank you so much for the kind comments. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome this morning. Thank you. Make sure you guys get your drink. I got my Fanta. I told you. Mi Fanta, not that Mexico or anybody's paying me to promote Fanta, but I don't know, Fanta in the morning, You know, he was locked up for 4 years in Mexico, and then he was released. He was released to the embassy. He had to serve more time here in the U.S. He's been locked up. He says that, you know, for most of his time here, in his life. But Mexico, he was locked up for 4 years. 4 years, you guys. Let's keep going. Wow. But you've definitely, I think, even with your organization trying to kind of give back to the community, it's how much of that do you take on? You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like you have the weight of your shoulders to a certain degree, and then also you have these kids, youth, that you see them following in your footsteps, and you're like, I don't want you to end up like me, you know?
I feel that everybody's built for a purpose. I feel that, you know, God's made me like really strong to like withstand a lot of stuff, and I donate as much time as I can. I speak at the colleges. I speak at the schools. I go to the prison here. It's all on my dime. You know, my ministry really didn't start asking much for donations until the show aired this year. Just because it started, you know, getting bigger and bigger. And I just want to go back. I just want to help. I just don't want kids to go down the street that I went down, because like no deja nada, and it was all bad. Like, it was all a pipe dream. It wasn't real.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. And I want to make sure that I link in your organization information as well. Like, if you have a Cash App or something that we can, you know, put towards your organization, will you give me all that information?
Yeah.
I think it might be on your about me, and I'll make sure I put in your YouTube channel and your IG so people can reach out to you.
Thank you.
My goodness. So what do you think? All right. So you have this case right now going on, right? They call it the Cabo 6.
Yeah.
That, you know, these specifically a woman that is seen in a video where she hurt her friend. Okay, she killed her friend. That's what it is. Now you have the Mexican government that has put out a media communications that basically says that they're working towards an extradition for feminicidio. What should, in your opinion, what should they expect at this point as it pertains to them?
Honestly, I think they have to make an example. I think that Americans have been getting away with a lot of stuff, and this year I kind of feel like everybody was like, that's it. You guys have gotten away with a lot of stuff, and this is coming from somebody that, you know, did the same thing. I got in trouble in a different country, and
they made an example out of you being 17. You were 17 and they made an example out of you.
Yep. You know, 15 years that young, I felt like it was the end of my life. And when I got home, the charges on my paperwork, international head of international drug smuggling operation. Like, you put those charges on a piece of paper on somebody, and it kind of, nobody will ever hire you again. So, it made it really hard for me when I got out, and I paid for it. I mean, I still pay for it to this day.
And to give some clarification, guys, just so you guys are aware, so he served 4 years in the Mexican prison at the age of 17, and then the embassy came in and picked him up. Let me tell you how the sentencing happened for him. He was in the prison, okay, and he was just kind of there, and you will see it in that episode too. And they came in, some random person came in and handed him a paper and said, "Here, your sentence is 15 years in the Mexican prison." Had the embassy not come in and stepped in and say, "Hey, come here, we're going to pull you out of here," he would have been there for 15 years. 17 years old. He was already there for 4 years. 4 years, guys. Somebody comes in and says, "Here's your sentence." There was no attorney representing him. There was no judge. There was nobody that said, "This is a child, let me pull him out." He didn't know what he was doing. He was dumb, young, and dumb. No, there was nothing like that, guys. It's like somebody just came and gave him a piece of paper. "Here you go, 15 years. How do you even consume that? So that's how he heard about his sentence. It is crazy. But let's keep watching.
My record limits me from where I could rent, where I could live, everything.
My goodness. But you live to tell it all, though, and I think it's awesome to give this huge testimony. It's all over your YouTube page. It's all over your IG. You're a walking testimony.
I want to motivate guys like me to be real men, to be like real men, like trabajadores, de una mujer, cristianos, just like real men, because like I did that tough guy stuff. I did the shootings. I did all that stuff, and you know what? This has been the most gangsterous walk I've ever been on, and I love it. I love helping people. I love talking to people.
He says, I want to teach young men to be hardworking, to belong to one woman. Okay. His mission is to help young men, and it's been that. And so this is the life that he lives. That is his testimony. That's what he wants to do. And look at his smile. You have to. I mean, it's so crazy to me because I don't know if I can be, he talks about all this self-diagnosing. I don't know if I could be sane after what he's talking about, period. I don't know how you can. Thank you. Thank you for the 197 super sticker. Justice for Shanquella. Absolutely. Let's keep watching.
Yeah. A lot of respect for you. Thank you for everything that you do and for using your experiences as like for good, at the end of it, it's for good. Por algo pasan las cosas. You know what I'm saying? Like por algo Dios nos pone en este mundo para hacer lo que hacemos y, los trancazos que nos damos, it's just how it is, Yeah. It only makes us stronger. So I appreciate you. So you think that they're going to try to make an example out of these guys? I mean,
yeah,
they were vacationing. You can't go to somebody's country and commit these crimes, and they didn't even stay long enough. They weren't detained. Se le echaron para acá luego.
Yeah, but you know what? Mexico has always, turned over when American wanted people, and if they do have to turn themselves in, it's going to be really controlled because there's going to be so much media on it. So the embassy is going to be there, and it's going to be a whole different. It's going to be a whole different show. I mean, it's very different from like a kid like me that nobody even knew where I was at.
Yeah.
I was just, I was just in Mexico somewhere in prison, but there's going to be such media coverage on it that it's going to be different. It's going to be different, but at the same time, murders in Mexico are tried very different, where it's a fight, or it's a riña, or it's something como like what is that called when you catch your like wife cheating or your husband cheating?
Crimen de pasión.
Yeah, they have different laws over there. So I've seen people get 2 years for a murder, 3 years. So who knows? Who knows? The laws are very different over there.
When you were there, would you say it was overpopulated, or what was the population like?
Oh yeah, it was very overpopulated. All the prisons in Mexico are overpopulated. If you didn't make it on time to get chow to eat, you just didn't get fed. They had that portion, and that portion was it. So yeah, they're very overpopulated, and at the same time, si no tienes dinero, you have to live with like 20 guys in one cell.
Oh my God.
That's how they pretty much make it work.
It's basically its own little community, it sounds like, right? It's kind of like, because I remember watching the Locked Abroad, and it was kind of like they just threw you in there and says, figure it out type of situation.
Well, that's
right?
how it is. I always I tell people, watch the movie Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson, and you'll get an idea of how prison was over there.
Gotcha. What do you think about, as far as women prison? Is it segregated from the men, or what is it?
Usually most of the prisons, like in my time when I was in Mexico, usually the women's prison was always in the middle of the men's prison. It was always on the same compound, because acuérdate, in Mexico, they have conjugal visits. So if one of the male inmates meets one of the female inmates, they're able to go over there, take them out, take them to their cell, have sex, and blah, 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 blah. That's how it works over there.
Wow. So as far as pregnancy.
So in Mexico, they don't take away that part from you. That like if you're married, you have a wife, a girlfriend, you can still have that.
Wow. So as far as like pregnancies, women get pregnant there all the time, I'm assuming?
Yep, they get pregnant. I think the baby stays for the first year with them.
It's a lot of information. How is everybody? Yes, Giovanna. Yeah. That's what I heard. Which, by the way, Valencia, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker and super chat. Everybody, will make sure we do some rabbit twerking before we go. Conjugal visits would be the last thing on my mind in a Mexican prison. Do you know what? That's what I'm like, the birth control. Like, what if you get pregnant? And I mean, Mexico has different laws about abortion too. I'm just letting you guys know that this is a huge thing, and they don't. When I spoke with WrongtoStrong, okay, with Julio, he said, they don't take that need away from you, right? Where it's like you have the men's prison over here, which is several hundred miles away from the women's facility. No, there's conjugal visits allowed. You're talking about its own little town destination period. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Yeah, they you can have conjugal visits. It's allowed. They can come to your cell. It's allowed. That's an understatement. Yeah, they are so different. That's so different. Let's keep watching. And make sure you guys hit the like button. Where am I at on my likes? Do not hold out on me, guys. Come on now. Do not hold out on me. Show me the love. Show me the love. Here we go. Okay, cool. We're good on likes. Thank you, guys. Let's keep watching.
It's different with the women. I dated a couple of the girls that were in the women's section when I was there, and it's different. They still get into their stuff, but it's just different. The women no son tan payasas como los hombres. That's what it is.
Oh my God. One of the stories that you told, or not one of the stories, I'm sorry, and I think back, it was on the YouTube video where you talked a little bit about this young guy who fell in love with an older lady, and the young guy, you want to say it was like 16 or 17, killed the lady's husband. Basically, this lady was like a kind of like a Black Widow type of
Yeah.
personality. Can you share a little bit more about that with us?
Well, it was really messed up because when they were all over the newspaper and when they came into the prison, everybody knew who they were. He was a young, good-looking kid, and she was obviously older and like they say in Mexico, like a stallion, I guess you could say, And in the first 3 weeks, she started dating one of the big drug lords, and that kid kind of lost it, and it was just it was really sad to see people completely, I guess you could say, die, get killed. They would hang themselves. The drug addiction was really bad because there was so much drugs in there that they were cheap. They were really potent. It was. I knew that if I didn't come back to America, I was gonna die in there. I knew it. I knew it.
So it's not as regulated, right? Like here in the prison system, is it? Would you say it's a little bit more regulated than the ones in Mexico?
Oh, they're not regulated over there. It's totally, it's open game, especially if you have money. If you have money, everything goes.
Can you escape? Is it easier to escape from prison in Mexico?
Well, you know, there's a law in Mexico. You're allowed to try and escape Mexican prison. You don't get new charges, nothing. You're allowed. It's a law that's called, I forgot what it's called, but every human deserves or wants to be free. So they're allowed to try and escape. Like a lot of people don't know that. So that's why a lot of Mexicans, when they're in prison over there, they'll dig tunnels. Like they try to escape. There was a couple of guys that escaped from where I was at because it's.
How come El Chapo didn't have the same luck though? Because he was like.
That's it. You're talking about a whole different person.
Right.
If you escape and they catch you, they don't give you new charges like they do here in America. Like they just put you back in and you do your time. They move you to a more max prison, but you don't get time at it. That's what I mean.
So people have tried to escape.
Yes, all the time.
Did you try to escape when you were?
Isn't that a difference? Talk about that, okay? So because I was curious, I was like, well, because Cash, you just said it too. I think I would attempt to escape. I'm gonna be honest with you. You mean to tell me like I'm not gonna be refacing time if I don't try to escape? Yeah. I would probably try it. In Pink Society, that is such an awesome question that you ask. And by the way, Valeria is not Valencia. I don't know why I said Valencia for the super sticker. Thank you, my love. It's Valeria Robinson. Thank you. I didn't want to mispronounce your name. You guys got to hold me accountable to the names, okay? Because I could kill them. Hey, Paola, thank you so much for the $9.99. I appreciate you. Wouldn't you try? You know what? Yes, I would be digging tunnels. I would be digging rabbit holes to get the hell out of there, especially if I know I'm not going to be recharged. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to lie. I would try to do that. I'm not going to lie. I had to ask that question. So you don't get more time for trying to escape. But in the US, you get time for trying to escape. Oh, yes, you do. You get more time.
When you were there?
No, I don't know why. It never crossed my mind, but I always tell people, I was tortured a lot as a kid, so locked in the room and stuff like that. So in my mind, I was pretty much, I guess, paying for something that I had done. So I don't think that's why it never crossed my mind.
Did you have a trial for your case? Did they just lock you up? What did that look like for you? That was the biggest question I had.
I mean,
was there a trial?
I didn't see no trial, no nothing. I walked up.
Did you see a judge?
No. I walked up to a metal door. the guy sitting behind a desk handed me a paper, and I mean, 15 years, and that was it. Like there was no show, no nothing.
So there was no attorney that represented you in this, like, and I'm just thinking, because people think that this is like a huge, like, you're gonna have like a Law and Order, big ol',
They might
Olivia
make it look
Benson
like
comes
that because
in.
there's going to be so much coverage on it. It's the big talk right now. Especially because it's Rocky Point.
Right. Right. Wow. Do you feel like corruption? What do you know about the corruption within the Mexican prison itself?
They're not embarrassed about it. they they don't hide it. It's just, it is what it is. Poor people want money, and I hate to say it that money is like the ruler of all evil, I guess.
Did you ever have family come and visit you while you were in there? Did anybody visit you?
Yeah, I had friends, and my mom went in there once, but it was mostly the women that I was like dating at the time. They were coming.
Gotcha. But it wasn't like your relatives that were flying in from the US to go see you?
Oh no, I'm not like close to my family like that. I barely speak to my family.
What do you think is going to happen next for these guys, in your opinion, since you've been reading up on the story?
I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised that if they do extradite them, they'll give them like 2 or 4 years, and they'll do the time, and that's it. If they do let them get sentenced and then extradite them to the U.S., now they're going to have records on both sides. That's something that I didn't know. I had a friend of mine that was an American. He stayed in Mexico to do the whole time because he didn't want to dirty his record in the U.S. So he stayed in Mexico. So me, when I got extradited to the U.S., I have that record now in the U.S. and I have that record in Mexico. So if I ever get caught like in Mexico for doing anything, like that record's already there. So you understand what I'm. So who knows?
Have you been back? Have you been back to Mexico at all since it all happened?
Yeah. I was just there the day before yesterday.
Oh, really? So I caught you right on time. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah,
I've
been going to Mexico to get my mouth is getting fixed, my teeth, all that stuff.
That's why people go. You go over there for dental work, penicillin. What else? And people find, it's funny because you say that, but it's the truth. Like cheese, penicillin.
Well, they were trying to charge me $90,000 in the U.S. to fix my mouth. I got hit in my mouth and it broke everything. So I have like plates holding everything together. So my teeth paid the price. So just getting implants and all that is really expensive over here.
And that is very true. Okay. People, this was a couple months back, but when we were talking about, we had covered the Marvon McRae story, Dre McRae, right? And I know we have differences of opinion here, but going over the border, this does happen. Whether you get penicillin or you get dental work, people go down there to get BBLs. Now, I don't recommend the BBLs. That's a whole different monster. But I mean, I've had relatives that go down there for dental work for certain things that would cost so much more money to have here. Implants on your teeth, like what is it, the whether it's the Invisalign or the other tooth implants that you can get. It's very expensive, $90,000. Braces, people go down there for dental work, believe it or not, and it's cheaper. And these doctors, I mean, yeah, people do it. It's not a surprise. Medication that people wouldn't necessarily have access to, you can get over there as well. So when him telling me that, I'm not surprised. It's the truth. People do go down there to get medical stuff going, braces, dental work. Now people do the BBLs. I personally wouldn't do that because that's just too crazy for me, and I don't recommend it. And I've done a lot of research about that. It's not safe, but there are certain things that people do over there, and that they get done over there.
So I had a friend that's a doctor over there, and he's been helping me. So I've been driving over there.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. So, and people find it hard to believe that people would travel all the way for medical care. They do so.
I'm excited about getting my teeth. I'm like so happy because I can see them all white.
You're like cheesing it now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my God. Wow. Do you have any other thoughts as far as, or anything else that you want to share with us about this whole situation? Anything you have to say to them about this?
I've been to Rocky Point lots of times. We used to go over there every year when I was part of a motorcycle gang. We used to.
And just real quick, Rocky Point is another tourist area in Mexico. Mexico has a lot of tourism, guys. And if you go pull up the map and say different places to go, here, WrongtoStrong is describing another tourist area. So people get in trouble in these tourist areas. A lot of people get locked up in Mexico, and we just don't even know about it.
It was bike week, and all the everybody would go over there. So I know how crazy Rocky Point can get. I know how alcohol, drugs, having a good time can turn bad really, really fast. And I always tell everybody, man, just take a couple of seconds to really think about the consequences of what you're about to do. Because
Absolutely.
it could cost you a lifetime of regret. And I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. I have friends right now that are doing, 60, 50, 80 years, and they call me, and it's sad to hear their voice just in regret, just saying, man, I should have thought about it. I should have cooled down, because all it takes is about 10 seconds, really. If you take 10 seconds to cool down, you'll be surprised how you'll start to think about something else. And this is coming from somebody that lived his life like that. So, that's why I express it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Wow. If I were to go to Mexican prison today, what would you tell me? Like, what would be your advice to me?
Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Watch your surroundings.
I'm already in trouble.
And don't take nothing from nobody. Nothing's for free.
Okay, mind my own business and don't take anything from anybody. Nothing's for free.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I always tell people don't realize that criminals are the most smartest individuals. They're using it for the wrong reasons. You don't just survive bad areas and bad prisons just to survive. No, you're surviving because you have street smarts. You know how to survive. You know how to drive.
And no Wi-Fi there, right? No Wi-Fi, no
Google.
Damn. But you can learn Spanish right away, no? A huevo?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to learn Spanish right away.
There was a guy there, Michael. He was from Michigan. He was a white boy, and if you heard him speak, you thought it was a Baisa talking. And he stayed out there to live because he met his wife and everything.
How many Americans would you say get locked up there, like in sentence? Do you know of how many Americans were there besides you when you were there?
There was me, Tony, Max. There was 4 of us there when I was there.
And you were in San Luis Potosí, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, one of them was 4. Yeah, one of them was my best friend, Ricardo. I just went to Houston to go see him.
Oh my God. And these are Americans that find themselves over there locked up for whatever reason.
It's more common than people realize nowadays, because there's a lot of people running from the law. There's just,
Pero hay supongo que les dan mucha carrilla, ¿no? Siendo americanos.
Yeah. For me, it was really hard.
So then I asked, you know, given that they're American, somebody had asked, I think it was Pink, who had said, like, was it you, Pink Society? Something to the effect of like, just you know, being American and Americans having a hard time in there as well. Yeah. The thing about, and this is really a cultural piece. I have it in my family too. Mexicans, they have a really bad sense of humor. Um, and it's no I guess that's the thing, is that, you know, you're over there, you're gonna get made fun of as an American. Expect that people are gonna make fun of you. They're gonna try you. That's basically what it is. Everything that you know, what you stand for and everything. So that's kind of expected.
Hard because Mexicans joke around a little bit more intense.
Yes, we
they
do.
would throw kisses at me. They would throw onions, and uh, I would get mad. I would lose my temper, and I would fight, and that's what got me into trouble a lot. My temper, and if it wouldn't have been for my friend Ricardo, the guy that was there with me, uh, I mean, I would have probably died there because they just didn't like me. They didn't like me because I stood up for myself, and I really didn't. I'm a little pit bull. It doesn't matter how big you are. I'm gonna try and bite you one way or another. So, like, they really didn't like that, and you know, I got tested a lot, a lot. I mean, I got stabbed more than just those times. You know, I got stabbed a couple more times after that.
How many in Mexico?
Yeah,
How many would you say?
1, 2, 3 more times after that.
So 5 total?
Yeah,
Oh man. And you survived them all.
yeah. I have more than nine lives. I think I have like 28 right now.
God said, I'm not ready for you to come upstairs yet. You need to stay down there.
I don't know what
He said,
he's
I'm
got
not
me
ready for
doing,
you yet.
but he's got me doing
He said, I'm not
something.
ready for you. But he's not ready. He said, I'm not
You know what it
ready
is?
for you.
That he doesn't want me up there causing trouble, so he's trying to keep me down here.
Yeah. Your mission is bigger, I would say, you know, and it's not done, no matter what. That, because I'm telling you, nobody to survive that, and then all the other stuff that come in here, and my goodness, wow, Mr. Julio, thank you so much for talking to me. This was
You're welcome.
you selecting me, number one, right, and then checking my stuff out. I appreciate you for that. Do you have anything else for me?
No, this is good. I hope that it gets to the right person, the right ears, and just know that there is it's never too late. It's never too late to change. It's never too late.
Absolutely, you know, and I hope that, at the very least, justice for Shanquella, right, but also that something happens to these young people that make them wake up from the situation. And I mean, they're in hiding right now. Their social media is shut down.
Yeah,
They're in hiding.
that's what happens. That's what happens. You run for
Oh
cover
my
when you know
gosh.
you've done something wrong.
Otherwise, you'd speak it loud, no?
Yep. But it'll all come out, and you know it is what it is, and you know a lot of these kids, that social media stuff is creating almost like I don't know, like an illusion, like a twilight zone for them, because they think that they're gangster, but they're really not. And when the wake up call comes, when they call your number, it's gonna be really sad because, like I said, living in regret is one of the worst ways you could live.
I think that it'll be time, right, for them to kind of reminisce and regret some of the stuff that has happened. And hopefully with time they're able to come out and say, at least be truthful and honest about what happened, and give people the peace that they need, you know? But oh my gosh, shout out to you though. You know, make sure that we got to check out your page and send some love over there. I'm going to make sure I link all your information. Is there anything else that I missed, or anything that you want to tell me that I might have missed asking you?
Yeah. God bless you.
No, God bless you. No, in serio, you know, just talking to me, I didn't, like I said, I was like, didn't expect it that quick, you know. I was like, let me just reach out, but I'm glad that I'm legit and that I checked out. Okay, you know, thank you. That says a lot, you know, one genuine person to the other to say that. So thank you for that. I'm not going to keep it too long because I could see that you're probably in pain right now. But you're looking good with the teeth. So shout out to you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Okay.
Thank you. See you guys.
Alrighty. Let me remove this. It's a lot. Baby Bunny's awake. Hi, Mama. Do you want to say hi to the people? Say hi, people. I'm awake and I'm here to demand attention. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me do some rabbit twerking, and then I'm going to show you guys some stuff before we exit out. Please let me know what you guys think about that interview. Was that a good interview, Mama? Yeah, you think so? Let me do some rabbit twerking for all the super chats and the members welcoming you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. And let me find that little twerk. Awesome. Oh my God. Look at all this love, Maria. Such a great interviewer. Thank you for your research, your hard work. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You know, you guys got to stop because the birthday's coming up here pretty soon this week. It is the rabbit's birthday this week. I was reminded by the rabbit husband, your birthday's coming up. And I was like, damn, why does it have to come up? And why do I have to get older now? But let me go ahead and twerk one more time for all of you guys. Right, Mama? You got something to say? Do you want to say something? Do you have something to say to the people? And don't forget who the CEO of this channel is. Baby Bunny. If you're a new member, make sure you drop that rabbit baby bunny CEO emoji. Awesome. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Oh my God. Thank you, Long Gone, for the $20 super sticker. That was a great interview. Like I said, and let me make sure I share. I'm going to share with you guys his website so you guys can go, and if you want to donate, I know the holiday season is coming. This is his ministry. He is a fitness coach. Him and his wife run a wonderful business. I've linked his social media in the description box as well, so you guys can check it out. Let me put this down real quick. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. This is the social media website. The episode is from, and I had already linked it in the chat, but just making sure. It is the, let me go back in here. Where's it at? It's the Locked Up Abroad. Here it is. Locked Up Abroad, season 12. Narcos Neverland. So he is season 12, episode 1. He is the first episode. And I'm telling you guys, I don't want to give it all away. You have to watch that. He showed me that episode and I said, oh my God. But he's very much into spirituality and bringing and giving to the community. You guys go check him out. He has a wonderful testimony. A wonderful man, period, right? Clearly someone that can give to our youth, that has lived through a lot, and a beautiful wife. And shout out to him. Yes, it's intense. It's good. All right, guys, remember, I'm going to upload just the interview without my commentary shortly, so you guys can rewatch it if you want to watch it without the rabbit talking. Feel free to watch it. Make sure you know that in the Spanish parts, there's way to hit the CC subtitles. If you want to know exactly what we're saying, you can do that as well. Okay, guys. And now some of you guys have asked if I was going to be live later. Potentially. I got some stuff going on. I can't say a whole lot, but I do have some more information. Do you have more information? Do you have something to say? It's like she hears me talking and she wants to talk. Do you have, I think she's like the social media, YouTuber now too. Are you a YouTuber now? Baby Bunny, say something. Okay. She's regulating. She's like, listen, you guys have had my mom's attention. It's my turn. Yes, yes. Thank you, guys. All right. It depends on her. She's the one that runs me. She says whether I'm gonna be live later or not. But I do have some more information that I got to figure out how to navigate. I know somebody had said in the chat about Jared Lysick's trial tomorrow. Yes, we will definitely be talking about that. It's coming up tomorrow. Not trial, I'm sorry, court hearing. We'll be talking about that a little bit more, but I'm going to let you guys go because I got to head out. Thank you, guys. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon and hit that like button. Bye, guys.